blew up a school. He didn't use a machine gun or a Tommy gun. He blew up a school. What did the kids at Columbine use? Sure, they had guns, but what did they also bring with them? Homemade bombs. Even if you are carrying, if you're packing heat yourself legally, you can't shoot at a bomb. This whole notion that we need gun control is a farce, people. Terrorists are using guns to be able to get into certain places to place bombs. And if you think that this was a failure, that's what we thought about the first World Trade Center bombing. What, 8 years later, they brought the towers down. Look, these people were not there. Now understand this. This couple was not there to stand and commit jihadist suicide. They tried to escape. They tried to escape because this, folks, I believe, was a live dry run. Do you understand what I'm saying right now? This has the earmarks. I know I'm sitting out here on the East Coast, and it happened on the West Coast, but everything that I'm seeing and all the information that I'm getting, it has all the earmarks of a dry run. These people had more bombs and bomb-making equipment in their home. This was not one of those that they were attempting to stand their ground and then go down in a blaze of glory, jihadist glory like you've seen other jihadists do. No, this was a dry run. They were trying to cover their tracks so they could escape and try to do it again and pass the information on to other jihadists. This was a dry run. This is not going to be the last time. And I'm afraid that someday soon, the next run is going to be a blow-up success. Now, if you're thinking, well, Rod, why the hell are you scaring people? You better be damn scared. Now, I'm not saying don't try to live your life and change your whole lifestyle because then they win anyway. But understand that this president, this administration, these stupid, idiotic liberals are signing all of our death certificates because of the way they're enacting their policies. They're allowing this to happen. We're going to have, if we keep going down this road, we are going to have a Paris somewhere in this country. Do people hear me? Somewhere in this country, at some point, we're going to have a Paris-style attack. And you can say, well, Rod, we can prevent that. Really, don't you remember about a week or two earlier, our government was telling us there was no credible evidence of an imminent attack. Remember that? They said they had no credible evidence of an attack. Guess it just goes to show they don't know. Credible evidence. The evidence is all around us. And it's credible. And now you got people out there who are saying, well, no, yeah, and you got the Department of Justice saying, well, I'm going to prosecute people for hate speech against Muslims. Give me a break. No, not all Muslims are terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslim. Understand that. Again from Newsmax.com, McCain. What McCain said kind of likes me kind of makes me like Ted Cruz a little bit more. McCain said of Ted Cruz, he's the one I disagree with the most. I disagree with most is Cruz. Senator John McCain said his Senate colleague Ted Cruz is a Republican presidential hopeful with whom he has the sharpest disagreement, and singled out the Texans' vote against the National Defense Authorization Act as the chief reason. Because the National Defense Authorization Act was loaded with a bunch of liberal garbage. Cruz knew it. I love this. Well, no, they can throw in that extra stuff, but we got to have this bill. We got to have it. We need it. Well, get rid of all the other crap. They're not going to vote for it. Well, then they're not going to vote for it. Why do we always have to, are there any major bills that Democrats capitulate and let the Republicans dump a bunch of other stuff on it? No, why do we always let the Democrats do that? Just so we can get them to vote for it. Hey, get them on record as voting against this kind of stuff. Just like now we've gotten, finally, we've gotten passed in Congress to repeal most of Obamacare, but get it to the president. Force his hand. Why are we so afraid to call out the liberal Democrats? Why do we let them dictate all of this stuff? So, by him saying that he disagrees with Cruz the most out of all the current candidates, kind of makes me like Cruz even more. Here's an interesting story, a little bit on the lighter side as we get ready to get out of here and enjoy the full weekend. From the smoking gun. Drone footage. Look, there is no more privacy, folks, with all these drones. Drones, there are going to be millions of drones flying around the air Christmas Day and Boxing Day, December 26th. As people open up their gifts and find these drones, they're going to be out there flying these things. They're going to be everywhere. There isn't going to be much privacy in public. You got people out there shooting these things out of the sky because they're flying over their property. So this doesn't really come as a surprise, but it is kind of makes you chuckle a little bit. The smoking gun drone footage leads to straight couple, two pairs lewdness arrest. Convicted prostitute was filmed underneath a John in a parked car. An Oklahoma prosecutor has filed criminal charges against an alleged hooker and her John after a drone operated by an anti-prostitution activist recorded the pair trysting in the man's truck. Now, Amanda Zolik, Zolikoffer, Zolicoffer, who was 27, and Douglas Blansett, Blansett, 75, are each facing a misdemeanor public lewdness count in connection with an incident earlier this year in Oklahoma City. They were caught by an anti-prostitution activist. Now, not the police. Understand that, folks. Not the police. An anti-prostitution activist. flew this drone and recorded the carnal deed in this 75-year. Oh my goodness, 75 years old, being arrested for lewdness and being a John. Well, hey, 75. I wonder if he had to use the little blue pill. God bless him for being able to still be virile, I suppose, and have needs, as it were. Oh, I would, if it happened like this month, then I would say Merry Christmas to that gentleman. But it was a little while ago, earlier this year. Politico magazine. Trump County, USA, America's most reliable bellwether county, has fallen for the wild man from New. I like how Politico puts it. The wild man from New York, the most accurate pundits in the history of American presidential politics. I love how they put that. The most accurate pundits. Just voters. Just voters. The most accurate pundits in the history of American presidential politics reside far from the Beltway on a 403 square mile patch of land along the western border of Indiana. At the intersections of U.S. Highways 40 and 41 off of Interstate 70, you'll find yourself in Vigo County with its 108,000 residents and its ho-hum county seat, Terre Haute, situated along the Wabash River. Now, Terre Haute is the land of Clabber Girl baking powder, and its citizens call it the Crossroads of America. It's a place where both Democrat Senator Evan Bayh and Labor leader and Social Democratic founder Eugene Debs were born, and home to the U.S. penitentiary where the Oklahoma City bomber Timothy McVeigh was put to death. In nearly every presidential election since 1888, voters here in this blue-collar community or county have selected the winning candidate, missing only twice. Once in 1908 when they opted for William Jennings Bryan instead of William Howard Taft, and once again in 1952 when they chose Adlai Stevenson rather than Dwight Eisenhower. So this county, which has this historical accuracy and reference, has evidently polled and chosen Donald J. Trump to be the Republican candidate. I know that's going to have a lot of people happy. That's also going to have a lot of people pissed off and scared half to death. Looks like maybe, I don't know, folks. I'm not saying that I'm going to be backing him in the primary, but it looks like this is going to be a Donald Trump Hillary Clinton presidential battle. Anyway, we're out of time for today, folks. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you back here bright and late, 7 p.m. on Monday. Until then, I'm Rod Eccles. This has been The Rod Eccles Show. I'm out.